ugatari kuo aikare oro
for this
yeah, that's a good
something which is impressive.
Tea factories of our area have continuously only lead to a dysfunctional industry. Tea factories are registered and owned by individual tea farmers in our respective directors, representing its shareholders categorically.
What you have there is already there. That is
we must address this issue of tea. We must know that about 5 million Kenyans rely and feed themselves through the tea sector. So we will appeal, we are appealing to the government to protect this business, to regulate fairly and not stifle business. We are asking the government not to stifle the business that has been with us for so many years. We have seen the direction that coffee went, the direction that sugarcane went, the direction that maize went, the direction many other crops have gone. We do not want tea to go that direction, and as leaders, we want to be at the forefront of protecting this business. And we are asking the government to ensure that they help us in the reduction of taxes, in improving marketing by setting up Tea Board of Kenya and ensuring that the Tea Board is functional. And if there is any, we want to say this, because we have been, some of us have been called names in general, that people have been going to social media and saying that there are cartels, that there are people who are doing malpractices in the industry. We want to say that the government has all the facilities. If any individual, any of us has a problem, and you feel like there is an issue that needs to be sorted out, just come for the individuals, but do not go for killing full industry for the satisfaction of just a few who may be interested in other issues.
We are urging our farmers to remain steadfast and not to get misled by negative information. Tea factories are registered and owned by individual tea farmers in our respective areas. Some were as old as between 40 and 50 years, while the youngest is about 20 years. Farmers are both suppliers of green leaf and shareholders of the factory companies. We are all affiliated in our respective factories and at the same time shareholders of our factory companies. We as tea factory directors representing, we are not opposed to reforms. In principle, we agree to create development in tea industry. But this must be done in an organized manner involving consultation to establish facts and guidelines along which any reforms may be based. We need to see figures. We need to have data as the basis for reforms. We have factories owned by plantation and by KTDA who own the tea. And at the same time, they own the factories. And it is going to bear in mind, dismantling KTDA is not a solution. If there are cases of misuse of funds that have been identified, they should be dealt with at that level. And whoever are involved, we have a legal system that can handle that. En masse changes without basing the process on established facts, we only create chaos and confusion in an industry that is compared very well, compared with other agricultural enterprises like coffee, like pyrethrum, like cotton, like sisal, which do not exist because of unnecessary interference. And it is good to state, it is not wise to mix politics with the business. They are different.
We have been having elections every year. And what we are saying is that we had already released notices for elections last November. Now, what happened is that some of the people who are now asking to go to elections and who have released notices of meetings, illegal meetings that we are not aware of, these people went to court through the AG, through their lawyer, and these elections were stopped when we were ready and we had already released notices. So what we are waiting for is the matters to be canvassed in court, and once the court has done its determination, we are ready to go for elections anytime. As far as those elections that are being called on 10th or on 17th, we are not aware of them. These are not called properly. These are not elections that are called properly through the articles and the Companies Act would require. They are called by people who are interested parties, who are not really authorized by law to call elections. So we are saying and we are encouraging our farmers to stay put, to wait until the matters in court are completed, and we will then call proper elections through the normal channels. This is a red zone, and the restrictions for COVID are so tight. Even if you wanted to bring crowds of, I have already told you that we have 30,000 shareholders in this in this county. Those 30,000 cannot assemble in the different companies so that they can elect their leaders with the current COVID restrictions. Unless the government wants to go against their own guidelines, we want to say that it would be unfortunate if people, on one hand, the president has already directed what is to happen, and the Ministry of Health has already given guidelines, and then on the other end, you are announcing public meetings and elections to go on. So we are waiting for the court process and also the COVID restrictions to go. Thank you. Rĩrĩa igoti rĩngĩtua maũndũ macio tũrathiĩ na mbere.
Tũtiamaheire mathĩna, nĩo moimire na mathĩna na matikoragwo cai-inĩ. Ũngĩkorwo ũkĩhinyĩrĩria mũrĩmi, ha thirikari ĩhane tekwenda kũhũra biacara ya cai.
Take them down the negative route. This continued fight and onslaught against